Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fortmaster, and welcome to a new reaction. And this is 3 years later, was FNAF security breach ever fixed by Backseat Streams? So this was suggested to me on my Discord server by Natanarol, and yeah, that's the question, isn't it? Because, granted, when security breach was first announced, I was very excited, so much so I actually did buy the game. But to put it lightly, when I tried booting it up for the first time, it chugged at, what, maybe like 9 or 10 frames per second. And I got it on launch day. And after trying and failing to play it, for a Let's Play on the channel, mind you, for, I think, maybe about like 10 minutes, I stopped, and, I haven't touched it since. Thinking back on it right now, I probably should have asked for a refund on it, but, you know, that's neither here nor there at this point in time. But, you know, as I've said, like, I know, you know, Steel Wool did put a lot of work into actually, you know, trying to fix the game. I mean, going back, I remember when Markiplier played it, and there was the one room that he opened the door, and the room behind it just didn't load, so it was just sort of an X-ray into the Pizzaplex. Oh, so funny. And just, I remember seeing all the different glitches and stuff like that that people played. Which, I mean, on one hand, I was kind of sad and angry about it at the time, you know, rightfully so. On the other hand, they were funny. I mean, of course they were. You know, then again, there have been a lot of, you know, updates to it over the years. Before they started working on Secret of the Mimic, which came out today, mind you. And before that, there was also, you know, the Ruin DLC, which is basically its own game, basically. You know, back to my Discord server, you know, Setting Sun put it best. They bit off a lot more than anyone could chew with it. Which, I mean, even goes back to the whole, you know, behind the scenes with Scott, because apparently there's, from what I understand, there's been a fair amount of retconning involving the story at Security Breach. Mainly because, if you hadn't seen it, Scott Cawthon, you know, the original creator of FNAF, did an interview with Dawko, a second interview, actually, and there were a few questions about talking about Security Breach, and apparently what happened was, there was not enough communication, where Scott told them things to include in the game, but he didn't tell them how to include them in the game, so Steel Wool kind of went in their own direction a little bit with the game, and not quite what Scott wanted with it. Which, I mean, honestly, at this point in time, like, you just have to laugh at. Now, that being said, from everything I've seen of, like, the few gameplay videos I've seen people release of A Secret of the Mimic so far, it looks a lot better, like, a lot higher quality, like, the lighting's a lot better quality. It seems to be, it's a lot more constrained, seemingly. So you don't have the, you don't have the danger of this gigantic place that had to be made. Everything, all the locations, because it's a factory, are a lot more enclosed and a lot more tight. Granted, this is only like the first half hour of the game I've seen so far, so I have no idea what happens afterwards, but again, definitely gonna have to see. So, you know, let's actually get into this video and see if Security Breach has actually been fixed at all. So, yeah, of course, as always, original video is linked in the description if you haven't seen it yet for some reason. Corner video will lead to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because my main goal for this year is to hopefully hit 5,000 subscribers. At the current rate I'm going, that is totally doable thanks to every single one of you that subscribes to my channel. Yeah, but with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
When Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach first launched, the game was, let's say,
broken, yes.
Fairly buggy. But hold your horses, that was over 3 years ago now. Things change. And during that entire time, the developers have pushed out many patches aimed at fixing those issues. Not to mention, with Secret of the Mimic releasing, Security Breach is now officially in the rearview, making it quite likely that the current patch version of the game is the final, most pristine Security Breach we are ever gonna get. So why don't we return to the game one last time, armed with a jumbo-sized list of 50 of the wackiest glitches, so we can find out once and for all just how much of the game all those patches actually fixed.
God, just going back, like, just the disparity. I mean, and I guess you can say this about a lot of games, but just the disparity between, like, the intro cinematic and the actual game is, like, just absolutely heart-wrenching. Because, honestly, I would have loved to have seen more with the Glamrock animatronics, just for the basic fact that they're not, you know, what we've seen before in the franchise, where, you know, they're robots that were possessed by, you know, the souls of dead people that were, you know, stuffed inside them with, you know, remnant, and as the lore goes. But they seem to be, like, actual functioning AI that, you know, had personalities, but they were, like, hijacked by whatever was happening at the Pizzaplex. And I would have loved to have seen more of their actual, like, personalities actually come through. Like, of course, we see a lot of Glamrock Freddy because you're with him. He's your, basically, vehicle for a good portion of the game. And you see a little bit of Roxanne's personality in the beginning of Security Breach, and then, you know, Roxanne is like a more major part, not as big as Freddy, but a more major part in Ruin. But then seemingly, like, Montgomery and Chica were just completely thrown to the wayside. And I wish we had more of these. I want to see more of, like, what life is like for a partially sentient AI in the world of FNAF, where they could be potentially possessed by, you know, the souls of dead people.
And, you know, who's to say we don't find a bunch of glitches that I've never seen before in the process? It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy. This is the most bizarre softlock I have ever seen in this game. And I've seen a lot of softlocks in this game.
R1 quality control.
It's good to be back. I will reveal to you the glitches we're looking for as we progress through the game. For now, let's just play Security Breach. Ooh, breaking Security Breach, are we? No, we're not going to be breaking Security Breach because they fixed it. So no breakage today.
Showtime already.
God, that was the one thing I remember every time, that first intro where, you know, it's like, you know, it's Freddy looking at himself in the mirror, and the way they do it, like, I don't know whether it's a fact. I think mostly it has to do with, like, the disparity and, like, how blurry the background is and how crisp Freddy is in the mirror, where it looks really weird.
In the very first room of the game, we already encounter the very first thing I need to test. This is how it's supposed to work. You look out the window and you see Vanessa. My pet theory is that this is supposed to teach you how to move the camera. However, this is from the Necklace Challenge run. The very first objective in the game is to look out the window. Except, looking out the window also, I guess, means just touching the window. If you brush the back of your head on the window, the game goes, yeah, close enough, and lets you move on.
I mean, is that really... I mean, I guess you could say it as a bug, but that very much just seems like the way they had the in-game event set up was that you don't have to look at a specific thing. It's more like you just enter, like, an area trigger or something like that.
Did they fix this? Let's find out.
That is the security guard.
Okay, already one miss, sadly. Now, the glitches do range from things like this, which are just little tiny bits of lack of polish, going up to completely game-breaking glitches. Trust me, the one after this is potentially a huge one. Now, we will not save, just in case a glitch works later. This is finally time to test a glitch that is quite serious and has big implications going forward. In the very first patch of the game, there was a steel gate here. It made that last cutscene quite goofy. So they thought, you know what, to fix that, we will move the gate up the stairs, so at the very least the player doesn't think that she jumped a gate immediately after walking out of shot. In doing so, they maybe opened up a part of the game that wasn't properly tested.
How?
Do I want to do this skip? This is a risky skip. This is a really easy way to get the ability to get in and out of Freddy early. So we probably want this to have some fun. Nice. And you can go out of bounds.
Oh, God, okay. Honestly, like, I would do horribly as a bug tester because I'm the kind of person that just never thinks to do stuff like this. Like, oh hey, let's run up the stairs, walk on the banister, and then kind of use it to kind of like glitch through the ceiling.
That is what we're testing next. We are testing whether we can still get out of bounds using the first aid stairwell. And to make sure that I am motivated to find
bingo card,
glitches,
of course. Perfect.
I have made a bingo card. So some of the glitches are bingo glitches. And what happens if I get a bingo? Well, as always, everyone on YouTube needs to subscribe. That's just the rules. That's how we do things around here. Now, one of the glitches on here is this very first aid stairwell. And let's see, did they fix the stairwell? Oh my god! Yup, it is still in the game. That's good. That's good. We can even see the endos over there. Jeez. Now, there is another thing on this.
Again, like, what was I saying about this game being just so big? Like in like the FNAF fandom, the concept of, you know, an open world FNAF game has been was a long-standing want of the fandom for a long time, especially when the games were still click team and the entire gameplay was just you sitting in a spot and, you know, swiveling from side to side, you know, that kind of stuff. And while a lot of people over the years did, like, I think, you know, Security Breach, for what it is the most logical extreme of this, where it's an open world game where it is just, it's not like you're just in a small restaurant or like a house or something. No, you're in like, you have an entire mall to yourself. And again, like, I know there were a lot of problems during development of the game, and I can't help but wonder, like, if at some point somebody, like, either like in an official capacity or in an unofficial capacity, would come back to Security Breach and either like heavily rebuild the game, or just start from scratch to make like Security Breach Reloaded, like tell the story as it was meant to be told, redo the location, like fix a lot of the glitches, you know, just all that sort of stuff. And I just really want to see what could be done with this location if it was done like just properly.
Bingo card, which is loading into a different save. Now we're going to jump in a thread and deload everything straight away, and we're going to fall out of bounds. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so this is way later in the game. I overwrote my previous save game, and it seems to have retained some information from that save game. Okay, we're restarting. We're restarting.
Yeah, stuff is broken. Again, this is why I don't do this kind of stuff. Like, I have fun looking at other people doing it. If this was me using my time to do this sort of stuff, I'd be so angry.
There's no way I'm going to deal with this nonsense. So let's find out by jumping into the void. Do we still load into alternate save games when we fall out of bounds? Here we go! Oh! Where are we? Where are we? Yes! We did it, chat! So you can still skip humongous parts of the game. I am honestly shocked this is still in the game.
Oh, that hurts me. That hurts my heart.
I feel like we need to restart. If we skipped ahead, we would be skipping glitches, and that will just not do.
Yep.
Hello there.
What was the list? It was like 3 out of like, so far we're 3 for 3 out of like, what, 50? So,
It's backseat from the edit here. While we purify this timeline of all those filthy glitches we just did by repeating all of that on a fresh save, let's speed through a few of the smaller glitches that we tested at this point in the run. First up is an infamous glitch where by setting the voice volume to 0, previously unskippable cutscenes would just whiz right by. At first, this seemed like a very big moment and our first patched glitch of the game. It's not skipping! It's just playing the cutscene but without voice volume.
I mean, well, I mean, I guess like if you had subtitles on, it would still count. But I guess if normally if you had subtitles off and dialogue, like, I guess that would just be a time saver, so...
Like a reasonable video game would. However, thanks to the ever-knowledgeable chat, I discovered that the glitch wasn't so much fixed as just slightly different. Surely not. Oh my god, no!
Okay, I mean, I can still see it, but like, I'm just again, I'm trying to figure out the code spaghetti that's going on that leads to that. Because you'd think it would just be a simple fact of, oh, you have all the audio playing, voice, the actual volume of like the voice clip down to 0, and then the stuff just plays out normally. What kind of code spaghetti? I can't get my head around it.
I'm so sorry, Freddy. I'm going to have to remove your gold star. Next up was this railing in the tutorial that in previous patches would deload the entire map, effectively vaporizing everything in the game if we dared to stand on top of it. This was also, quite confusingly for me, unpatched. I really thought they'd patched this, because this is patched in the Nintendo Switch version. Am I accidentally playing launch patch? What is going on here? Then, pressing on and ignoring some...
Yeah, I mean, at that point, like, you gotta make sure, like, go to your Steam, verify game files, make sure you're on the right version. Like, this is starting to get funky. This seems like it's rigged.
Unusual glitches that weren't on my list. Why does Gregory sound like this in this corridor? We arrived at the final glitch of the tutorial, and, ooh, a personal favorite of mine. It is possible to break the AI of both Monty and Chica during this chase. Now, if we jump up here and get into this little alcove, you may notice things have gotten a little bit more quiet. And that is because Monty is broken. Monty's brain has snapped like a twig, and Monty is no longer chasing us. This is where it actually gets difficult. So now we walk backwards. Okay. So when you get on those boxes, Chica's AI just breaks. She resets back to her initial position, and you can see she's just running up the stairs. She doesn't know what's going on. There we go. We have...
God, okay, that just seems like some sort of weird glitch or something involving like nav meshes or something.
Done it. Now, I did test this before I streamed. This is the one thing I tested. And what this reveals about Steel Wool is very interesting, because this shows that Steel Wool watch my streams. They patched how to break their AI, including a thing that I only showed in the stream and didn't put in the video. Now, what about Chica's AI?
Wait, and the way they changed that was they didn't even, like, fix the AI or anything. They just made it so you couldn't climb in there.
This is also kind of patched. Now, she just waits. And when you jump back down, she resumes. Congratulations to Steel Wool. You get 1 point. You did patch something.
I mean, I guess.
Except one small thing. You didn't account for me not showing something on stream, did you? I gotta keep my cards close to my chest. And this method simultaneously breaks both of their AI in one foul swoop. So,
you know, honestly, like, at this point, I don't know, like, what game engine was, you know, Security Breach made it? Was it made in Unity? Was it made in, like, Unreal? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's stuff like this that I really have to wonder, like, would it be worth kind of going back to an older system from, like, say, Source? Because, as I was talking about, nav meshes are a thing in the Source engine for AI, where once you make the map, there's a way you can just automatically, in the engine, click and it will just generate a nav mesh that just maps out anywhere that's, you know, standable, that's where, you know, the AI or computer players can stand. Now, I don't know how it works in modern game engines, but you'd think, hopefully, you know, they could have done something like that just to say, oh, this place is, you know, it's able to be gotten to, so the AI knows how to get there. And then that might, you know, found a way of how to fix it.
So you do the chase as normal, but you just run past the chicken, and we hide underneath these. Now you will notice Monty is having a bit of trouble finding us. You will also notice
Chica's gone.
Chica has vanished. Monty is no longer interested in Gregory.
What the?
That was weird. Chica's AI has ceased to exist, as has the bird herself. Gotta be honest, never seen anyone run that way. Well, apparently neither has Steelwall. Not fixed. So with me cruelly stealing another victory from the jaws of defeat, and the game punishing me with an unexpected soft lock in return, let me back in to the gameplay space. I escaped the tutorial one last time, with all 6 of these 6 glitches tested so far.
Again, this is one of those things where, like, I honestly wonder how it works. Like, what kind of invisible, like, area triggers and, like, invisible barriers are set up where this is possible? Because, like, the way, granted, I mean, like, I've never made a game myself. I have very limited, you know, game making experience from, like, the little bit I learned in college. But, like, how I think, just the ways I'd imagine you'd actually do this, I just can't think of, like, how any of this would even be possible.
Being unpatched. Or let's say, in fairness, still broken in all the ways that count. What have I done to them? Put Gregory in prison right now for the abuse he's putting these animatronics through. But as we leave the tutorial and enter the big wide world of the full game proper, things can only go up, right?
Hopefully. Literal lunacy.
Now what am I supposed to do?
Okay, we're locked in. Looks like we're gonna have to do a 5 Nights at Freddy's. Our next destination is daycare. Well, why did that just close? So here we are at daycare.
That was weird.
But first we have one thing we need to test in the daycare lobby. This door was meant to go to the atrium, which is a very big area that is right next to us. So when you walk here, the game attempts to load the atrium. However, my theory is that the atrium is such a big place that the game needs to deload other things. So if we touch this door, and then if we just go over here and walk back into the lobby, it will deload the lobby. So now we are just free walking through the Pizzaplex out of bounds.
Again, I know games have to preload assets and stuff like that, but, like, God, that's weird.
It is also possible to deload the bathrooms, which are honestly a lot quicker to get to. So those are probably the easiest to test. Well, the bathroom is loaded. Is this patched or is it because of the OP PC? I discovered this glitch on this PC. So let's just say it's been patched.
Okay.
We have finally got one thing that's patched.
One thing that's patched.
Congratulations.
1 thing out of 7. So that's a, what's the percentage so far? That is currently we have just over 14% of the glitches, you know, actually patched.
I haven't got anything written down for the boss fight. For right now, we're just gonna have to do this the normal way. As intended, chat, this whole playthrough is as intended. I'm being very well behaved.
As intended, right.
Okay, we need eyes on Moon. There he is. Now, I've paused the game. So I wanted him to get close to me because I wanted to test Nano Moon out. This is a classic.
Nano Moon? What?
No, it is Moon. Why is it Moon, though? Moon isn't even in this section yet. We've replayed this section many times before. This time, there's a moon here? That sounds like a glitch to me. Nano Moon. I like Nano Moon. Maybe that's why we can't see him. Maybe he's just really, really small, like Ant-Man. It's past your bedtime.
You can't do anything except, you know, try to attack your toe.
Is Nano Moon going to be here? Let's find out. I don't hear him. Did they actually patch Nano Moon? For now, that is a point to Steelwall.
2 out of 8. Okay.
Oh boy. Time for one of my very favorite glitches. If you watch the glitchless video, you will be extremely familiar with this one.
Oh god, just thinking back, like, that's one of the things that was really weird, because, like, again, like, I love the idea of, like, of the Mega Pizzaplex just in lore-wise, but there are certain things, like, I can totally buy, you know, the big the behind-the-scenes areas for, like, employees and stores and stuff like that, you know, all places have that. But again, like, I've never understood why are there like gas-powered, like, worksite generators in the daycare. Like, why? Was that ever explained? I don't ever remember seeing, you know, like a note or anything explaining why that was.
Gregory, jump in.
My pleasure, Freddy. My pleasure. That definitely counts.
I gotta.
Freddy. My pleasure.
Again, it's the Gmod sounds that just kill it for me.
That definitely counts. That Chica glitch is unavoidable? Nah, no way.
No!
Oh, this is going to be an issue. Does Chica still vibrate her head when you get inside Freddy? In we go! Yes! The vibrating chicken endures.
I mean, again, well, I'd have to see, you know, how it's actually programmed, but that doesn't seem more like that. I mean, yes, I could see that as classified as a glitch, but it also just seems as, like, you know, Chica's pathfinding being funky since you're being rendered invincible by going into Freddy.
Thank you, Chica. Mwah. God bless. And that is it for daycare. Now, the next thing we're testing, this one is another little nitpick, but it's something that annoyed me to no end. So I did a glitchless challenge run of Security Breach, where I tried to complete Security Breach without seeing a single glitch. And items clipping into each other was something I counted as a glitch. However, I had to make a special rule to exclude the fact that every single time you get inside Freddy, you clipped into his wires. And the reason why I count that as a glitch and not just a poorly made animation is because in the original patch of Security Breach, you didn't clip into his wires.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We still clip into the wires of Freddy Fazbone.
So when did they change?
They didn't fix it. Next glitch. So, believe it or not, in earlier patches of the game, if you exited Freddy at the same second that you got jump scared by Mapbot, there was a very strange glitch that would happen.
What?
Freddy, come here. Oh no.
Where are you?
What's happened now? This is bad because I'm soft locked.
And are you very tiny? Like, what's going on? Why are the leaves so big?
I can see the Pizzaplex in the distance. I've wrong warped. Does Mapbot still throw you out of bounds?
Please take this map.
Oh, God! Good God. He went for the double.
What?
I've never seen him do it twice before.
Yeah, that's... Oh, God, Security Breach is such a broken game. Ow!
Mapbot wrong warp. There it is. Everything is going fine. What a terrible dream. Okay, we're back.
Oh, God.
It would seem that there is a way to get things set up to test Gigamoon. So I'm kind of scared.
Bigger
Hello there,
moon?
Backseat
What?
From the edits here, interrupting real quick. Gigamoon is quite a complicated thing to explain, and I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that you don't know what that is. So
No, I don't.
Buckle in, we're about to go on a journey. After the moon boss fight in Daycare that we've just seen, a chase occurs that only ends when you get this cutscene of entering a recharging station. If you don't make it to that cutscene trigger in time, Moon will kill you. However, if you use up this cutscene early, which is very possible with some sequence breaking, then not only does the chase not end, but the only trigger to stop Moon from chasing you is removed as well. This is made even worse by the game checkpointing you when you get near the recharging station, trapping you in an endless loop of Moon-based murder. The most scary element of this being that if you start an entirely new save game in this state, this Giga Moon can chase you even there. At least if the music is anything to go by.
Oh no. Oh god, again, like I knew Security Breach was broken, but I never remembered it being this broken. How did anybody ever actually finish the game, I'm wondering?
So that is the glitch we want to test. But since sequence breaking was required to even meet him in the first place and my usual method had been patched, I used an alternate route devised by the speedrunner Wymie to get me there instead. So, according to Wymie, you can deload the map by getting MapBot to jump scare you. Oh my god. Well, that's another one I have never seen before.
That's a weird one.
Here we go. By walking into that trigger, we have used up the cutscene. So now we're playing with fire. Now, there is going to be a moon that gets spawned that has no way of being turned off. Let's slide into fun. However, as is always the case with Security Breach, before I could even finish this route and test Gigamoon, a few more glitches reared their head, including one that we thought we'd already ruled out.
What? Which one?
Wait. Nano Moon? I can 100% hear moon noise. Scrub it from the records. Nano Moon is not fixed. So, now the moon is chasing us. Now, in my experience,
I am, again, like I love game development and just, you know, all the ways that go into it. This is legitimately hurting me. Like, how do you, like, after all these years, how do you make something so broken? And Ruin was so much better. Like, it's a DLC, and granted, I know they use a lot of new locations that are like remade, and maybe it's just the fact that it's a much more linear experience than Security Breach. But how is Ruin so much better than Security Breach?
I tried to get as far away as I possibly could.
Must be found.
Are you out here? Oh god!
Yes, he is!
I'm gonna just exit Freddy and see if the game does what it did before. Weird. Yeah, he's not killing me when I'm outside Freddy. This is very different. I don't know what I'm dealing with anymore. This is uncharted territory. No! Jesus Christ.
Wait, did it just pull him all the way back to daycare? Like, what was that?
I mean, maybe he's been patched. Maybe somehow they went 10 layers deep and patched him. It might be patched, however, it would mean that this user interface is on screen for the rest of time. Can Moon get me if I get yeeted across the map?
Hi, please take this map. Take a map.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh no! Look at MapBot. This is another glitch on my list that I really thought would never happen.
So wait, so far we have like, it's 1 out of like, what, 8 or 9? No, 9 or 10 actually at this point. Like, oh god, like this, at this point, like, I am certain that by the end of this, he's going to discover new glitches, and it's going to be that, like, Steel Wool actually has a negative score because there's more glitches in this than there were to start with.
Oh, now this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Can Moon get me up here? Oh,
yes.
He can. I really thought that this glitch was impossible because I had no idea how I caused it the first time.
Greg.
Wait, Moon is just gone. Oh my god. He is so patched. They murdered my boy. Like, you can just reload the save and it stops him chasing you. So with our beloved moon thoroughly ungibbused, that brings us to the end of
Wonderful
daycare
news.
with only 2 of the 13 glitches tested so far being patched.
2 of 13. What's we're updating our percentage here. It was like 14. It was like 14.2% before. What's it now? Okay, so we've jumped up from 14.2% to 15.3%. I mean, things are improving marginally.
So let's see if Steel Wool can pull a From Software and keep the patches coming.
You watch your step.
Yeah, of course. Nah. Oh no, what's happening here?
This part of the game, it gives you 2 options about where you want to go. You can go to El Chips, or you can go to Chica's basement. Now, we want to test glitches in
Chica's
both
basement.
parts. So, we're going to head to El Chips. Wait, I think I just skipped MapBot. It's not on my list because I didn't know that was possible. That's fine.
I mean, is that really a glitch? It seems like an improvement, actually.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Freddy isn't supposed to have a draining battery here. Things are going weird right away.
Very much so, yeah.
Okay, El Chips. Get out of here. We've got glitches to find and you're not invited to the party.
Yeah.
This is something I found on my very first playthrough. I got to this security office and I found a way to cheese the entire section. I think I'll just need to do this if I play again. Unless I can find a place to just, like, wedge myself and go undetected, like here.
It's a lot darker in that version.
My controller has literally just disconnected, so I don't even have a controller plugged in right now. And I'm still beating the section.
All done. See, that was not so bad.
It was definitely not so bad.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And crouch. Will we survive? The controller is on the desk. My hands are off. Assuming this isn't fixed, we're in for a long wait. But maybe it's been fixed. Oh? Yeah, I don't want to look at him. I feel like looking at him will agitate him. Okay, they're having a bad time. Is this why it's broken? Is it because they can't decide whose turn it is? They're both like, you know what? You're overdue for killing him, so you should be the one to kill him. Chat.
I mean, again, with the idea that they're semi-sentient AI, I could totally see it.
Somehow this has survived for 3 years. You win! But it would appear that that is unpatched. Oh my god!
Monty's had a little too much coffee today.
I'm noticing a problem that has occurred. We're locked in with the animatronics. I'm gonna try and open the door.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Okay, well, that does give us an opportunity to test another glitch. In my glitchless playthrough, there was one glitch that killed more runs than any other, and that was the loading screens.
Really?
Oh god, I thought you could get away from this guy without running! I think that's a glitch. I think we've got to restart.
Oh, okay.
I think that happens a lot, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is, by the way, another glitch that was patched in later. This didn't exist in the first patch because there were no tips on the loading screens in the first patch.
Of course. Of course they were added in later.
My god.
Huh? What do you know? They're in the center.
Loading screens. 10 out of 10. So now what we want to do, chat, is we want to get out of here because I have zero interest in this part of the game. We're going to instead go down to Chica's basement next. The next glitch we want to test happens at the end of this chase. So you just need to sprint. There we go.
Oh god, no!
The run is dead. Chica, no! She will put her entire noggin through the door. So we're going to test if that is still the case. She looks confused.
Yeah, again, I would hesitate to classify that as an actual glitch. That just seems like bad hitbox placement.
Okay, I think the glitch is still in the game, but I think she was at an awkward angle. It was kind of disappointing and anticlimactic that she did stick her head through, but she wasn't even looking at me. She was looking at Freddy's beautiful noggin over here. But I'm pretty sure it's unpatched. So the next thing we need to test is at the end of this entire section. Now, where's my cheese? Hello, it's Backseat from the Edit again. Fancy seeing you down here. Well, now that we've met up, let's speed through a few more glitches that occur in Chica's culinary domain. First up was this minor glitch that ruined one of my glitchless attempts, as a door shuts and clips right through Vanessa in the middle of a cutscene.
It's like, well, I mean, at the very least she notices it, like, what was that?
This was unpatched. Yep, there it is! Finally not ruining a run, finally being used for fun. The second glitch to go over maintains the Vanessa theme, as in her bunny form, she was wont to hit the A pose and assert dominance on Gregory every time she saw him. This very amusing display was also unpatched.
Wait, really?
Yeah, boy!
How is that unpatched? Again, I'm gonna have when Secret of the Meg fully comes out, I'm definitely gonna have to look over like the videos with that with a fine-tooth comb, because like just the disparity. Granted, a couple of years, and also this was the first and that's the second, so experience also helps. But still, like this is insane.
And finally, while this glitch isn't technically from this section, this seemed like a good enough place to say it. The game used to pop you out of bounds in quite a dramatic fashion anytime you used a recharging station. Whoa. And I am thrilled to inform you that in current patch, this is still the case, making that 3 things in a row that were unpatched.
So, updating percentages, that's 2 out of 16? Oh god, we're down to 12.5%. Oh no.
I was actually hoping that it would be like, some funny things are still in the game, but they did an admirable job. I am starting to grow concerned that this is going to turn into bullying real quick. We're in the belly of the beast. The next glitch we're looking out for is going to be on one of these security monitors while we're fending off the animatronics.
Quickly, open the door.
Can a moderator check a clip for me? Look at that! Oh my god, it's even worse than I thought.
What?
Like, this is the door, and then another door opens from inside the door, but that door stays closed.
Oh.
That is so bizarre.
Oh, okay.
This is something that feels very easy to fix. If there's a duplicate door, get rid of it. I wonder. I think they've patched it. Oh no, this is it! God damn it, Steelwall. I was giving them maybe too much benefit of the doubt.
Again, this is really this is hurting my heart.
Well, the double door is unpatched. Unbelievable. What a fool I was. Get over here. In your pop. And he just ran through that door as well. There he is, Freddy Fazbone. So, the next glitch we're going to do is a very popular glitch. It's kind of terrifying. So,
What?
in the distance, you may see 5 pixels. And that is a Montgomery Gator. However, this is a Montgomery Gator with a very special property. This is Gigamonty, as discovered by Astral Spiff.
Oh, hey, Astral.
So with all that being said about Gigamonty, who better to explain how he works than Astral Spiff himself?
Gigamonty is the Spotlight Monty in the Showtime sequence. Since he's just supposed to sit there doing absolutely nothing since his Spotlight mechanic was scrapped, this Monty has been stripped of most chase mechanics that he'd usually have.
Oh, wait, why are there more Montys down there? Oh god, oh no, this is gonna get broken really quickly.
This means that if you unload the atrium after loading him in, he falls to the floor, but he can't see you. Although, if a staff bot anywhere sends a global alert, he will instantly lock onto you, never lose aggro, and never stop going full speed until he catches you, no matter where you go.
Oh, that's how that works. Oh no.
I see him waiting for me. Like a silent sentinel. Monty, are you okay?
I know you're here.
This is terrifying. I'm going to get spotted now, and we'll see if he comes running.
Can't outrun me.
Oh, yep, here he is. Oh no, what happened?
And he just steps on you. Jeez, that's brutal.
What happened? Why did I go in the floor? Is that just something he does? Feet finder material? Upload the JPEGs.
Boo.
Get those JPEGs on the internet. They must see. Okay, is Monty giving chase? Oh, yes he is.
Oh no.
Okay, so she's given up. What about Monty? Where is he? Oh no, he hasn't given up. He's... Okay, it's the boy. It's the boy. Roxanne was actually holding him back for us. Oh, Monty, no, no. Yes, I think it is confirmed that that is indeed the same boy.
Yeah,
So I would say not
Monty.
only is that unpatched, it is maybe even slightly more broken than it was before.
Yeah, because this time Gigamonty steps on you.
He can now squash you like an old school cartoon. Okay, let's insert that disc. Now we just gotta get out of here.
I hope Freddy's okay.
So with the showtime sequence complete and Gregory heading down to parts and service, another part of our scientific adventure comes to a close with a meager 3 out of 21 glitches tested so far.
3 out of 21. Ooh. Ooh. We're back down to 14.2. Oh. Well, I'm actually back up, I should say, because we were at 12.5 before.
Being patched. But hold that thought, because this entire list is just about to be thrown out of the window. As I try and replicate the next glitch and save Freddy from being captured by Moon. We are about to embark on quite the glitchy odyssey, so
Oh no.
let's go save our boy.
Part 4, saving Freddy.
What happened on my first playthrough is I didn't take Freddy down to parts and services, and it made him survive being captured by Moon. Hey, Freddy, buddy. What? Bye.
It's just like with the elevator with Markiplier. Freddy just disappeared.
Bye, Freddy. I'm doing this alone.
What time is it?
It's just Gregory going in. I don't need no Freddy. Oh, I'm sorry, Freddy. I'm sorry for leaving you behind.
Freddy's in there.
What was supposed to happen? Oh, hey, Freddy. Are we going? I'm going to go ahead and guess that this isn't supposed to happen. Maybe this whole thing is making a mountain out of a molehill. Freddy seems fine. Freddy isn't on the stage. He already isn't on there. Where is he? He's just not here. What happened? Okay, is he going to be saved? One thing I did notice that was weird is that it would let me ride the lift back up. Did you notice that? The lift button went green. So let's just test that. Can I ride the lift back up? That would be fun. He isn't here. He has once again gotten lost. Freddy, are you here? Oh. I booted up security breach, but Freddy's out here playing Fortnite.
Sorry to talk with my mouth full there. I'm sorry, I just can't. That was too funny.
Freddy, we're just leaving. Don't worry about it. Okay, what is your plan? I guess you don't really have a plan, huh? You're a little bit confused. Hello there, it's Backseat from the Edit, here to guide you through this unbelievable mess that I've just created. Sorry, I'm just mucking about now. We've gone so off the rails, we're not even testing things on my list anymore, I'm just experimenting. So by taking the elevator back up to the main Pizzaplex and ending the moon chase by using a different recharging station, I have successfully progressed the game to a point where it thinks I'm locked in parts and service, but we are in fact free to roam the game as we please.
Oh no.
I'm moving very slowly. I think I'm inside Broken Freddy. I can't get out. Oh, and he's got a battery that runs out. Oh, chat, we're so cooked. What is it with the feet cam?
This game is so broken. Oh, God, why?
Why is the latest patch the foot patch? This has one good point and a couple of bad points. The best point being, of course, that Freddy has evaded capture and indeed never took a single step in parts and service. The two bad points, however, being that since we've effectively skipped the whole parts and service section, including the 4th security pass, all future progress is effectively locked away.
Oh,
and
God,
the
that's a
second bad
soft
point
lock.
is that
No.
because we're now at 3 a.m. and we're not supposed to have Freddy at this point, the game has made Freddy go missing. Yeah, you're on your own now, bud. You really goofed this one. I guess I could maybe go to El Chips and get that security pass?
Well done, Gregory. You are in the East Arcade.
God, I forget. Why is everything so low frame rate?
It's almost like I can still hear his voice. So by doing the L-Chip security room again, but canonically this time, I was indeed able to snag a replacement 4th security pass and get back on track. At least
that's good,
we
thankfully.
would have been back on track if my ever-present desire to experiment wasn't so strong. Wait a minute, now that we go to parts and services, we now have an extra security pass, right? Alright, I'm cooking. There's a second way to get
What?
into parts and services.
Oh,
and
what?
that is via Rockstar Row.
Oh,
However,
right.
the game doesn't want you to do this before the parts and services section. So, they put it behind a level 4 security door. The only issue is, I've got level 4 early. So I can actually go there for the first time from the back. God, I've gone so far off course. Oh, the game realized. You're not supposed to be here yet. Absolutely not. So I did what any reasonable player would do, and I sequence broke it even more so that we could get to 4 a.m. and try it then.
God, I mean, again, what did I say before about that? About him finding just even more glitches than he initially planned for?
Honestly, this is one of the best things about Security Breach. No matter what you do to it, it generally finds a way to keep on trucking. But little did I know, I had accidentally blundered my way into the perfect final step to finally achieve the entire reason we're doing any of this. Oh my God. There it is. Freddy escapes the moon at Endo's. It was even better than I ever could have dreamed of, chat. He never even went down there. So with my
God,
happy
it's
ending
absolutely
finally
beautiful.
achieved,
This game is
all I
so
needed
broken.
to do now was not push my luck and not interact with too many things from the parts we skipped. What happens if I get in this now? Oh no. Oh no!
Why is
We've discovered a new one. Goblin Gregory. This is the most bizarre softlock I have ever seen in this game. And I've seen a lot of softlocks in this game.
Wait, why is he walking? I just noticed he's walking backwards.
Well, at least I can just reload my way out of this. And it's not like my constant monkeying about has broken my save game in some way and jeopardized the entire scientific reason we're here. Wait, Mapbot doesn't appear? Jesus Christ. Okay, now the Endos is locked. I've glitched myself so hard that I've locked myself out of the Endo section. Well, it's not exactly like things can get any worse. I should just really stop interacting with things. Oh no, this is really bad. Freddy, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Oh no. Freddy, I'm sorry, buddy. Not you again. Now, can I get into that cutscene with Freddy? Hey, buddy. We're going to see your twin. Freddy, do you know this guy? Ah! Jesus Christ! I didn't know she was active. I didn't know she could kill me. Oh my God. Okay, well, let's do it again.
This game is so
This
broken.
glitch that I'm doing right now is called Freddy Warps. And you can use that to get to the other side of locked doors, like this.
Oh,
Well,
this. I know
that means
this.
that Freddy Warps are not fixed. She is genuinely horrifying, chat.
Very much so,
I do
yes.
not want this to happen. I do not want to have to go through all of this. So we're actually going to just go back to the main menu and load a save I'd made previously.
Now, the question is that one broken as well? Because you never know if this stuff is contagious.
But let me stop the edit there. It's been 37 minutes since the video started, and it's all been pretty intense.
Very much so,
let's
yeah.
relax, bring the energy level down a bit, and take stock of everything that's happened so far. The current standings are that of the 23 glitches tested, only 3 have been patched at this point.
Down to 13%.
Meanwhile, our bingo card, which functionally tests the opposite of how broken the game is looking far more healthy. But while we're talking in this level-headed way, let's go over a few things that I think make this situation a bit unfair for Steelwall. First up, there were far more than 50 glitches in the launch patch of Security Breach, and for my list, I only chose the most flashy, most memorable, or most funny of the bunch. The endless texture flickers, rapidly despawning Freddies, and an avalanche of other small things are all patched in the current version of the game, and it's just quite unlucky that none of those made it onto my list. Not to mention that a couple of the glitches I'm testing need you to do other sneaky glitches in order to even get them, making it feel a little bit unfair that I counted as a glitch that should be patched, since they're not even something someone could see unless they're trying really, really hard.
Yeah. Again, a lot of this, like, he's purposely breaking the game, but at the same time, like, the fact that there's still ways of doing this, like, you'd think they would have at least tried to have patched the way of getting into the glitch in the first place.
Although, as it turns out, you might not even need to give Steelwall that much pity after all, as we are just about to enter their comeback era.
Rock and roll.
So let's pick the energy levels back up
Comeback
and
era?
see what they've got up their sleeve.
Wait, so have they patched a lot of these... Black Arc.
What you might have seen at the end of last stream is that I broke the game so hard that I accidentally locked myself out of the endo section. So I replayed the entire game, making sure that I got the map from Mapbot this time. Now, the thing I want to test in the endo section,
That wall just moved.
it is not a serious glitch, it is just very goofy behavior on the part of these endos.
Uh-huh.
They're looking right at me. Look at that. Look at this. They have no idea I'm here. The best way to see this is on the cameras. Okay, they're looking for me. So they have fixed this behavior. So that is one thing patched, okay? Things are gonna turn around. Right now, I've got a feeling. Hark! I have news, Freddy. A glitch has been patched. So we do not want to approach parts and services in case we lock ourselves into that whole thing again. Huh. Okay. Well, it would appear that my sequence breaking has confused the game. So let's just leave the back way. Oh, actually, we can test another glitch right now. This elevator at the back of parts and services has another thing I discovered on my first playthrough. Okay. Back down we go.
Oh!
Bye. Oh god. This is gonna be bad, isn't it? I can feel in my waters this is gonna be bad. Oh god, I'm falling!
Of course, because everything unloads, of course.
Oh my god, where am I? Ooh. I think they patched it because there is no way to press this button from outside anymore. And here's the thing,
wonderful.
chat. If you try, they close the lift behind you. They knew this was a problem, and if they can tell that you're trying, they lock you in the lift. You can't get out. You have to just go. No more deloading with the lift today. You are in your metal prison, you shall not escape. So yeah, that is thoroughly patched. So that is 2 in a row now. And you know what we're going to do, chat? We're going to make it 3 in a row. Because there's another glitch I can test right now. Have you ever heard of the jump button, chat? You know, the button that makes your character go up in the air? Well, if
Oh,
you
no.
press the jump button while getting inside Freddy, then the game would deload everything.
Why?
Okay, I'm gonna need to actually move. All right, so let's get out of here before. What? Wait, what has happened? What? What did? What?
I cannot see.
What's happened? This
too
was
weird.
wild, and I used it in so many of my challenge runs. It is the most broken glitch. So let's find out, does the game deload? You know what? Not only does it not deload, they
You can't
don't
do
let
it
me
anymore.
do it. When I'm airborne, I can't get inside Freddy. The button does not work. So this has been patched. I told you, it's the
Wonderful.
comeback arc. Up until this point, they had fixed 3 glitches total. And right now, we've just got 3 in a row. We have doubled the amount of bug fixing that they've done in like 5 minutes. Can they make it
beautiful.
4 in a row? Now, this door had something very special, and that was a floating Freddy Fazbear doing a T-pose out of bounds.
Thank
If
you,
come
Markiplier.
close, do you not open this? Oh yeah, you do. You do. We found Freddy 2, guys. All right, let me see if I can get a good photo of this. Both Freddys in one place. We made it happen.
No, the door doesn't
Looks
open
like
anymore.
They patched it because this door no longer opens at Freddy's request, which means that the glitch is invisible or fixed. And to me, they're both the same
Wonderful.
thing. So that is 4 in a row. Sadly, that was a funny one, but hey, we do have one more.
Honestly, okay, I know, like, we're at this point, we're up to, what, like 7 out of 27, but 4 in a row, that feels good. We're up to 14.8%.
Glitch to test in this part of the game that will decide whether they go 5 in a row. So to explain, this part of the game, you can choose between 2 different paths. The reason why you need to choose is because this chap demands a party pass. However, you would need 2 to go into both events. And
Yeah.
you do not get your second party pass until the post game. But in my very first playthrough, I discovered a way to get into basically any area. Freddy, I need your help. Without needing to give any passes at all. No ticket for me, sucker.
Of course, using Freddy. Yeah, there we
Bye.
go.
A thing that has changed from my first playthrough is this used to open when you got close. And it is not opening now. I guess
Okay.
let's find out. Yeah, it would seem that it has been patched. Which means that we do
Press X to
sadly
hide. Oh, in Freddy,
need
okay.
to actually pick a way to go. I'm going to say Fazablast for the post game, and I'm going to go to Monty Jolf.
Monty Jolt, what? But again, 5 for 5 glitches. This is a comeback tour. Wait, what's the next section called? Putting up a fight. Okay. And then there's the post game. Okay.
Now, the thing is about Monty Jolf, there isn't actually any glitches to test for a little while. We are going to have to do a little bit of Jolf prep work. In we go. Nice. Okay, so now we can do Mazer Size, or at least we can get into Mazer Size, get confused by Mazer Size, and then leave and go to the daycare theater. So let's just head to daycare and save ourselves all a little bit of our precious time on this earth. Okay, I got a BBW maint log. Okay.
Was that always called that? I don't remember that ever being a thing.
Sure, man. These guys would normally be chasing you down, and it would be a little bit of a tense section. But if you're in Freddy, there is no threat whatsoever. When is the next vid? The next vid is this. But if you really want any sort of video at all, I'm uploading channel membership videos. It costs the same amount as a Twitch sub. Okay, let me explain. Let me give some context of Mazer Size. So Mazer Size is a puzzle that is basically just an exercise in frustration.
Uh-huh.
However, there was a way I discovered on my first ever playthrough to just skip Mazer Size entirely.
Really? Oh, of
think
course.
this is how you meant to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that, right? There we go. We're in. What do you mean, Tronmo? The vent is still blocked. When has that ever stopped us?
You.
And I squeeze back here. I can't, can I? Steel wall. I respect it, but if there was one thing you didn't need to patch, it was this. I really don't want to have to solve Mazer size. Okay, Freddy, can you do anything? I tell you what, the funniest thing about Mazer size is when you Google search how to do Mazer size, the first
God!
I really didn't expect that would work. What a mercy that is one of the one things that they did not patch. But sadly, the streak is over. Mazer size skip unpatched. So with the hot streak over for now, the game's score has leapt up from 3 of 23 glitches fixed to a whopping 8 out of 29.
What's the percentage there? 27%! Woo!
Which is certainly a big step in the right direction for Steel Wool. But can this momentum shift continue into the late game? Let's find out.
Playing 6 a.m. Freddy?
In we pop! Okay, something didn't happen right there, but don't worry about that. There was a way, in earlier patches of Security Breach, to skip this Monty boss fight entirely. You could jump into this arena, Monty would not spawn, you could just do this all at your own pace. And I did that in my backwards run at one point in order to save time.
Backwards run?
However, it's like they've added a ceiling above me to make sure that I cannot get the height to get on top of this railing.
Of course. I mean, that's gotta be a pass.
I can't do it unless I jump over here, and for some reason I'm able to skip Monty even without getting on the railing. No, this has been patched, chat.
What do you know?
Well, that is a shame. There is, however, yet another thing in this boss fight that we need to test. Monty does not obey by the laws of physics when he has completed his jumps.
What do you mean?
Now all we've got to do is press that button right in front of my face. Okay, one more bullet.
I see.
He fell into the catwalk. We really should stay away from those stairs, huh? Okay, here he goes. Where's he landing? Okay, well, he's been behaving himself so far. I think he's getting stage fright. Does he just not want to jump on the stairs anymore? Because I guess the difference of elevation would confuse him greatly. Monty's glitches have been greatly diminished. Chono, is it possible to ban yourself? Oh, he did land on the stairs there, but he is not floating. Chat, I think they've polished my boy. Monty has been pretty much entirely fixed.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that seemingly Steel Wool focused on fixing a lot of these weird and funny glitches, a lot of the ones that near the end at the very least, not the ones in the very beginning. So I wonder...
Congratulations, Steel Wool. We've finally gotten to the part of the game that they patched. Now, there is a thing that we can do that isn't on my list, and I want to see if it still happens, but this is purely for science. I see. Some things never change. Oh god! Oh wait, no! What happens if I go in this recharging station? Will it advance time or will it reverse time? What will happen? I've got to find out, I guess. I have to know. Oh no.
Nothing!
Oh,
nothing will happen!
It goblined by Craig! Not again. I mean, he's not scuttering about this time.
I mean, this is what you get for using a broken save file. You have literally nobody to blame but yourself for this.
So with our Greg made green and grimy once again, and with me ruling out that recharging station from something we should ever use, I instead sprinted to use the recharging station in Freddy's room, which did thankfully work. With the game progressing as normal again, it was time to test a few glitches in Roxy Raceway. The first one being to see if Freddy rudely mouthed along to Roxanne's welcome message.
Be a winner.
Nobody likes a loser.
What was that? Did you see that? Like Roxy had possessed Freddy. Which he sadly doesn't anymore.
Sign up today and be a winner.
Well done, that is another point for Patched.
Okay.
I then tested Quantum Freddy, a horrifying flesh puppet of a boy who spawned on a go-kart in my first playthrough and seemingly had every single one of his polygons torn asunder.
Him just glitching out of existence. Another one. That's so funny. Oh god, this poor game.
This was a funny one, and so it was very sad to see that it has indeed been patched.
Oh,
I like that there's a little bit of a fight now. Now it's just a good old-fashioned punch-up. Binjo is looking less and less likely by the glitch. One of the things I want to do is I want to kill Roxanne with the cutscene early. So in earlier patches of the game, the cutscene trigger is already up there. And as long as you get up to the racetrack, you can kill Roxanne right now.
Okay.
Well, this doesn't feel right. Whoa.
Again, that's such a weird design. Like, why wouldn't you have the cutscene trigger, you know, not be a box on the track? Why not have it literally just be, you know, when you put the head back on the auto driver?
Oh, I just killed Roxanne. My bad. I didn't know what I was doing. I legitimately didn't know what I was doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
It was maybe too easy to get, so they did patch it. But then in my necklace challenge run, I went to the speedrunners and they informed me of another way to get on the track.
Really?
There it is.
Of course.
We're up. We're up, chat. But that doesn't mean that we're home free yet. They may have actually been sensible and moved the cutscene trigger, like, all the way up there. Maybe they did that. And maybe it's patched. Or maybe it's exactly the same. Gregory, get off the road! Oh no! Double kill.
Gregory hit himself with the
Early
car!
Roxanne roadkill is still possible in latest patch. And what this means is that we can probably kill Roxy twice.
Oh.
Here's a question, chat. Isn't Freddy meant to be uncallable in this section? He's not supposed to be here. Freddy shouldn't be here. Well,
yeah, you broke something.
Is actually another glitch on my list, which is Freddy getting into a boss fight he isn't supposed to. He's here. He's in the Roxanne, quote, boss fight, unpatched. And this is...
God, they were doing so well. They had gotten up to a quarter of the glitches. Ah!
This is why Freddy isn't meant to be in this section. Okay, Roxanne, I'll see you later, yeah? Okay, we need to actually get back on course a little bit, because we do need to get to DJ Music Man, so we're going to have to pick up the music pass. But what should have been a simple stroll over to the DJ Music Man encounter quickly took a turn for the weird. Wait. I hear Vanny. When Vanny, an extremely rare NPC who is barely in the main game and certainly not in this section of the game, suddenly decided to spawn in. Oh, she's there! I hope you're ready for another eventful tangent. Is she only meant to appear when Freddy isn't around? What happens if I'm inside Freddy? Well, that happens.
God. Again, I've said it how many times in this video, but like, Security Breach was just such a massive step up for Steel Wool from like their previous games, and I'm not even talking like their entire game catalog that they made before, you know, they start making FNAF games. This is like their FNAF games were like from like before that. It was like the games they made before this were like Help Wanted and stuff like that, which were much smaller in scope. This, just the scope and what I can almost imagine possibly maybe like feature creep of this, it seemingly just completely destroyed them. Oh, God, honestly, a game like this, it probably should have been in the oven for at least like a year or two longer. Like, honestly.
I guess. What kind of steel wool hit is on my head. They're sending ghost vannies into my game to kill me? What is this?
Ghost pennies. Oh.
And if you thought an NPC spawning into my game where she really shouldn't be was weird, you've seen nothing yet. Oh my god, it's even more broken than I could have ever imagined. There's a second Vanny.
Oh no!
There's two! When there shouldn't even be one of her. I really wish it didn't distort your camera so I could get a better look at both these Vannies. Well, okay, that's enough Vanial. Let's get back to our normal testing now. And in the spirit of DJ Music Man's fast-paced beats, let's quickly move through a few of the glitches in this section. By pulling this lever and starting the chase sequence, DJ Music Man just
disappears.
Vanishes in front of you.
I didn't even... Again, stuff like that, I would have thought you had to be looking at the switch to pull it. I didn't realize you just had to be touching it.
And it turns out that that is still true to this day. But that is not the only magic trick that DJ Music Man knows. He was also able to magically appear in front of you in the bathroom, like he's your cat or something.
Ah! That honestly scared me.
However, unlike the previous one, this one was, weirdly, fixed. Hello.
It's like, open the door, he's just there.
They fixed it! They made it so that you can't open up the door, so that you cannot see him spawn in. And the final glitch of this section was to test if the camera and other UI sticks on the screen in cutscenes, and that is still very much unpatched. Although admittedly this is kind of a bad example of a cutscene to show it on, it happens much later and is much clearer there. But yeah, unpatched. Do you think this game will ever be glitch-free? No. I don't think they would gain much by patching it at this point, so no.
Honestly, something like this, I retract what I said earlier about like a fan patch or something like that. Like, this very much needs to be just remade from the ground up. Like, have it be like security breach, like repaired or like reloaded or, you know, some other, you know, R word. And just have it like remade from the ground up properly. Just so you don't have any of this weird, I would imagine, potentially code spaghetti that they have to work around.
No, I don't think the game will ever be patched completely. So with all of those musical shenanigans done, it was time to test one final thing, not for science, but for fun. We are going to try and kill Roxanne Wolf twice. Hello, Roxanne.
Oh god, here it goes.
I'm not telling you what to do or anything, but maybe you should get back on the go-kart track and just wait around. Something good might happen. Okay.
Now, how's the cutscene going to play out? Is he going to use the more fixed up model or the broken model?
Hey.
Oh, okay. It uses the other model.
Content. With the dog dead a second time, that brings us to the end of the section, and the game's current score to 14 out of 38 glitches.
14 out of 38. So we've gotten up to 36%. Okay, the number is rising. It's not going to be 100. At this point, I don't even think it's going to be 50.
Being patched. Yes, you heard that right. There are only 12 more glitches to test, and then we're done. So let's get a flippin' move on, shall we?
Post-game, here we
go.
go.
Let's get to the escape ending, because that is where our next batch of glitches is. Alright, let's go. First thing we're doing, during one of my playthroughs, we got to the exit, and a little thing had happened to Freddy.
What?
You have a choice to make.
Okay, we want to stay.
You are staying? I am glad. Here, I found this.
Freddy, what is going on with your textures?
It's steadily becoming lower and lower resolution. Poor Freddy. The damage is not only internal, it's external too.
You know when they say the color drained from someone's face? Well, the textures drained from Freddy's face. So let's see if Freddy will once again lose all of his face textures.
Jeez, okay, just already the textures are a lot better than before.
Gregory, you have a choice to make.
Okay, they fixed it! Freddy getting detextured at 6 a.m. is fixed. So the next thing we
Okay.
need to test in this conversation is what I have dubbed Clingy 6 a.m. Freddy. We're gonna stay.
You are staying? I am glad. Gregory, you have it.
Oh no!
Game! I kind of want to see how much this can happen. Will it just keep happening?
Gregory, you have a choice to make.
God. I'm gonna really try and run as far as I can next time.
Gregory, you have a choice to make.
Stop! Freddy, leave me alone. So possessive.
Very clingy. Oh
You are
no!
staying? I am glad.
And we will see if he is still just as clingy as ever. Okay, do you want to ask me again? You would stand here, and then you would go to leave, and he would ask again. Like, immediately. Do I count this as fixed? I think I do, because I can leave, and he doesn't ask me again. I think it's fixed.
Another
So
one!
now we have a second party pass. So this time we can actually go into Fazablast. Oh god, please hurry up. Please hurry up. Coming up next, I will take the security pass, and a bunch of guards will spawn in the lobby of Fazablast. This is a way to deload everything. If we could somehow deload out of Fazablast, then we'd be able to escape. But unfortunately, the game is so well made that there isn't a way to do that, so we'll need to think of something else. 1 second, I'm thinking. Oh! Somehow I'm back in daycare.
Did you only save like once throughout this entire game? Is that why you keep popping back there? Is that why? Again, you are playing with fire with this kind of playstyle.
It's this guy here. And will it all deload? No!
Ah!
Okay, I'm gonna just hide in Fazablast.
Surprise Chica!
Good God! Give me the Fazablaster! Give it to me! Oh! God! Now that I've got a moment to calm down, now that Chica isn't breathing down my neck, on my very first playthrough, I found a glitch that made me laugh so much. I'm still trying to call Freddy, just on the off chance that he appears, you know? You never know with this game.
God, the lighter... The lighting in the earlier version was just so much darker. I like the brighter lighting so you actually see what's happening.
Shame on you, Gregory. We can't.
Hey, Freddy, come back! Come back! What are you doing?
Where
Come
are you
back
going?
here, Freddy? Let me in. No!
Disappearing Freddy. Aw.
I feel like the most likely way to get Freddy inside Fazablast is to maybe do a Freddy warp. So get him to teleport somewhere inside Fazablast.
Oh no.
Wait a minute. Is it stopping me from being able to get inside Freddy? Huh. Did they foresee this? They're so sneaky. Okay, I'm gonna say it, chat. This has unfortunately been patched. Is that 4 in a row? I think they have patched 4 things in a row.
Wonderful!
They have actually patched a lot of stuff, it seems. It just seems that it was deceptively weighted to the beginning, that it was all the stuff they hadn't patched.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know what? We're gonna find out right now if that's the case, because the very next glitch I am testing is right in Fazablast, and I am so sure they haven't
Okay, so the 2 doors there was on purpose. I was going to say something.
patched it. Off we go! Fazablast! They forgot to put the thing on the floor? Incredible.
What thing?
Alright, here we go. Freddy Fazbear sends his regards. There it is. Look at how they've hidden it behind a little barrier. They're keeping us in suspense. Of course it's floating.
Oh, that's what they mean. Of course. Oh.
Why has this still not been fixed? It's been years. Okay, I need to
That'd be
make this
so
shot
simple.
count.
You just go in the
Otherwise Chica's gonna kill me.
That's all you need.
No! Okay, whoa, okay, fine. No, God!
Yeah, just stare at Chica's crotch like that. Jeez, I thought Gregory was a child.
Damn it! Well, good news, chat. The floating buttons were all we needed to see in there. I don't even care. If anything... Oh god, no, don't do that! I don't know what I did, but it would seem that I maybe punched her with my Fazwatch. So with Fazablast behind us and our chick...
I can't. God, I remember, this brings back so many bad memories of the time when I tried to play it. But, like, and granted, I mean, again, like, I never watched people purposely going out of their way to break the game. I just watched regular playthroughs and people inadvertently breaking the game. But, like, with how this is, like, honestly, yes, it's funny, but at the same time, it really is a heartbreaking that, like, this giant game that could have been so great is just forever a tarnished stain on, you know, FNAF as a franchise. It's so sad.
Intended. Now all we've got to do is grab the Monty Mystery Mix, ruin Chica's day just a little bit more, and head down to the trash dimension, now with added developer textures. For some reason. Now, the way the Trashland works is that you need to do a bunch of escape sequences with Chica chasing after you, and they always culminate in a generator, and that opens up a gate to progress. Now, there was a way that I discovered... Sorry, poor choice of wording. I went to the speedrunning Discord and asked them. I discovered it as in... I found out about it.
I found the speedrunning Discord,
told me about this first way to skip the first generator. And now we're going to attempt a skip. Wow. Which skips the first generator. That sound took me by surprise. I'll be honest.
That was terrifying.
Am I going to run and jump through this wall? Or am I going to smack Gregory's head against concrete in a very embarrassing way?
He's concrete.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, they fixed it.
The wall solid.
It's normally that would be such a low bar, but for this game, that is a major accomplishment. Really, it is.
They fixed this as well. How is it that they are able to fix speedrun skips like this, but they can't just lower a button a little bit? All right. Well, game, I have done your first generator. I hope you're happy, but that's not the only generator skip. There's a second generator skip, and this generator skip is far bigger. I also first found out about this glitch in my backwards
quote unquote,
speedrun.
many quotes.
You see how I changed the wording there? I didn't go Columbus mode. There's a way to fall out of bounds in the Chica encounter. Was it here? It was here. And fall out of bounds.
Yeah, God.
Yes.
Yeah, so has he just played the entire game without saving once? Is that why he keeps teleporting back?
Last time, you could jump up this trash pile and get out of... Ooh, it's close. It was extremely easy just to walk forward and fall out of bounds. We have escaped Chica's wrath, and now we should land back in the atrium. God, I hope I land back in the atrium. There we go. Oh, hello. I think I brought her with me. So, the Trashland escape is... What? I'm not hallucinating, right?
Is there more than one Chica?
I'm going insane. Chica Trash Escape is unpatched. Because the clingy 6 AM Freddy was patched, we're still not getting a bingo. Every single path to a bingo is being blocked off. One at a time. There are so many things on this bingo card, and none of them are a bingo. Now that we have basically done everything else the game has to offer, we are going to Roxy Raceway one last time, because the elevator to the secret ending is down here, and that...
Oh God, how is this going to be glitched? I mean, granted, it's been a long time since I've seen, you know, this boss battle, but... Like, how was it broken? I remember there were the weird tentacles coming out of the wall from the blob, but does that count?
That is where we need to test our last couple of glitches. Right, so, this is it. This next glitch is in this end game elevator. This goes down to the end of the game. As you can see, the elevator shaft goes down. There is nothing above the elevator. People saying, wait, the lift should be going down, so how come it says it's going up? Well, what makes you think that we're not going up? This restaurant could be on top of the pizzeria. We'll need a clip of that.
Oh, of course.
However, they did fix this in Ruin, but I don't know if they fixed it in the main game. And this is on the bingo card. Will the elevator say it is going up or down? Did they patch it?
They patched it!
I cannot believe it. The elevator goes down. They are on fire. We are losing glitches at an alarming rate. We've only got a few more chances to get this bingo.
Wait, how? You can't. You can't get this bingo, can't get this bingo, can't get that bingo, can't get this bingo. Like, so if you... Okay, so there's one... So you can get one here from Fredor. This is the only chance for a bingo you have left. And what is Fredor? What does that mean? That sounds like something from Lord of the Rings.
Wait, Freddy, why are you Blair Witching over there? That's very creepy. Please don't do that. Gregory Kills Freddy is a softlock that I discovered during my backwards playthrough, but I never did it on stream. I just discovered it in my own time. So what I want to do is I want to get out of Freddy at the exact same time that I land on those wooden planks.
And Gregory's just up there.
All right, here we go. Where is he? Where's Gregory? There he is! There he is! Gregory kicked Freddy down the hole. Last minute betrayal. Long live the king. Well, that's new to me. I actually haven't seen the blob kill me before. We still have 2 more glitches in this section, and the next one is the burn trap cutscene out of bounds. This is what almost ruined the glitchless stream. We're probably in pretty good shape. Can we get it done this run? Okay, Tronwo has sent a clip. What? Why were we all the way up here? Now, why is this happening? I swear that didn't used to be there.
Again, like, I feel sorry for the game. I feel sorry for the developers trying to go too far out their comfort zone when it comes to making stuff like this. I feel so sorry for everybody who had games ruined because of stuff like this. Like, all of this, I just feel so sorry because of it all. Oh. It is absolutely fascinating that this game is still this broken. And just the community is just passed it by. It's now just in the rearview mirror. Just goodbye.
I swear that's new. Okay, are we going to get pulled through the floor and out of bounds? Is it still in the game? God damn it, game. Well, good news for us. They didn't fix it. Well, you know what that means. We need to try the Fredor cheese.
Fredor, this is it.
In this section of the game, animatronics are going to try and kill us. We can stop that from happening by simply putting Freddy in the doorway, leaving Freddy, and if the cheese still works, then not only will Roxanne not be able to get in, but because Roxanne is trying to get in, the game will never spawn anybody else.
Oh.
This is meant to be a tense final boss fight, however, the Fredor is unpatched. And you know what that means, chat? Finally!
Bingo!
We have a
Finally bingo.
And don't you go forgetting the promise we made, YouTube. If you've got any shred of goodness in your heart, now's the time to prove it.
I'm a man of my word.
Thank God Freddy is not a gentleman and refuses to let Roxanne in through the door. Oh, she's mad. Oh my god, she's angry. I don't think she likes what we're doing. I think Steelwool has activated remote control. Terminate him now. Now, I do actually want to test something else. I want to test if I can die in the end credits. Okay, let's get rid of Roxy.
How?
For whatever reason, the tentacles from Molten Freddy or whatever it is, they don't despawn. They're the only thing that doesn't. There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm very much hoping that Afton comes to this TV and presses this button, because this is the easiest tentacle to die to. Yep, here it comes. Here comes the blob. All right, there it is. Everything is going to plan so far. Wait, has he moved? Oh, he's moved. It's not this TV. This one. There it is. All right, this is going to be tricky. We did it. Just one last minute flex.
Die in the credits.
Fans. That one was for you. That is Security Breach. 3 years after release. And how fixed is it? Well, going through my list of 50 glitches, this is how many were fixed. And that gives them a final score of this. They have fixed 38% of the game. I was going to say, do you think that's good? The chat has mixed opinions. But
after 3 years, yeah, that's really bad.
I'm glad, because it just makes the game more fun. But don't let them know
it does,
that.
But I still feel sad about it.
I'm trying to be Sundir. Hello, sorry to interrupt. It's Backseat from the Edit here, one last time. Thank you for joining me on this exhaustive journey through Security Breach in current year. Here is your regular reminder that if you'd like to see these streams live, you can do that on my Twitch page. But if you're only interested in catching up on the VODs later, there's a channel for that right here on YouTube. With all that said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Oh, God, again, like, I feel like, I mean, granted, I know Steelwool is doing well. I mean, they're making the FNAF games, and so far, like, Ruin and both of the Help Wanted games, and seemingly from the little I've seen of Secret of the Mimic, they've all done, like, really well. So, again, like, maybe it was just feature creep or just, you know, one bad thing happening after another, but Security Breach just seems to have been cursed, where just no matter what they did, just nothing could be done to fix it. And, again, like, I very much believe that, you know, Security Breach is going to be one of those things that it's never going to really be fixed unless they either, like, start accepting, like, fan patches to the game, or they just remake it from the ground up and just make it properly this time. Oh, God. But, yeah, that's definitely going to be it for now. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.